Okay, so the light is failing. It's starting to get dark out here, and I'm going to finish up my Coffman's exhaust install today by putting on the FuelX Lite on here, because I don't want this thing to run too lean. It's already lean-ish, being a Euro 5 motor, so I'll add this FuelX controller to augment the fuel a little bit, richen it up, and prevent it from being too lean. So here it is, FuelX Lite, fuel injection computer by PowerTRONIC. This is the light version that does not have all the, it doesn't have the 10 different maps and the map switch that you put up on the handlebars and all that. I don't need that. I'd rather have a set and forget kind of a system. So here's the wiring harness. Hopefully the light is okay for the camera that I'm using. I think, yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the harness that goes to the FuelX, and this is going to be the piggyback or intercept that goes to the O2 sensor. So the O2 sensor is going to come in one side, and then it goes back to the factory harness on the other side. So I just have to route this up from underneath the seat to about right there is where the connector is on the other side. And then I have to find a place for that to live. So we've got FuelX keychain, cool. And this is the device. Yes, no, maybe, yes, no. Out you go, thank you. And that's it. It's a small device, not very big. Anything else in there? That's it. So that's the guy. No programming or anything on this. It's a fixed configuration. It's an auto-tune map where it always augments the fuel based on what it's seeing come out of the O2 sensor, and it feeds new readings to the factory computer to plus or minus whatever their program thinks it needs. Anyway, I see a couple of cable shots here to go through with zip ties around under the bottom, so I'll figure out where I'm going to put that under the seat and how I route my cables up, but this should be about a 5 or 10 minute install. We're going to find out. Probably longer than that because I'm doing it on video, right? I'm going to go get a different filter for this camera because I think that's probably going to be too dark. And presto, let there be light. Took off that ND filter, put a clear one back on. Okay, so this should be pretty straightforward. Pop my seat through my little hidden latch trick. Get rid of that having to take the side cover off nonsense. And we're going to pull the tank to make my life easier. I could probably do it without pulling the tank, but that means, you know, routing and reaching the wires and cable tying things properly is just going to be hard. And I got some bug goo on there. Ooh, bye-bye, dried up bug. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the tank, unhook the fuel fitting and all that good stuff. So let's get that going. Tools. Here we go. 8 and a 10. Oops. Other way. Lefty loosey. Well, that nylock nut has given up its nylock there. Not very tight anymore at all. Okay. Set these over here. I need to get in under this and pop the fuel fitting loose. It's going to require 2 hands, probably. Yep, definitely 2 hands. Oh, gotta get down on the level with the work here. Can't really see what I'm doing either. There's 2, there's 1 there. I'm not on the other one, that was the deal. Alright, sorry you guys aren't gonna get to see the fun there, but I'm getting it. Oh, he's getting it. Oh, I popped back on. Did you hear it clink? Get off. Get. There it goes. Okay, and I'll get my paper towel here, soak up any dribbles. Yep, a little bit of dribbles. Okay, wrap that up on there, leave it. And then the electrical connectors up in here. It's kind of dark, you guys aren't going to be able to see, but I should be able to do it by feel. Yeah, almost had it. 2 hands on the job. Clickety-doo-dah. Clickety-yay. There it goes. Okay, so electrical connectors out. And then there's those 2 vent hoses in the middle. And the fuel tank is fairly full as per usual. In fact, it's absolutely full. I just filled it up right before I came home the other day. There it goes. Kind of stuck in there. And just kind of gently wiggle it back and up. And those front feet should come off of there. And the two hoses on the bottom should come off if I can get under there. There's one. And there's two. Okay then. Don't drop it. Set it down here where it's safe. And now I've got easy access to the rest of the stuff. So what I'm going to do is find a convenient spot to route the wires. And I don't know yet where it's going to live. That is going to be tricky. Let me go ahead and pull the toolkit out of here. So I might need to get in behind that. And let's see what we can see. I'll go ahead and pull the side cover off. The back of this thing is really, really hard to get out. Okay. So, what do we have here? Where are we going to make that thing live? It could live right there. Maybe. No, that cover's pretty tight. There's some empty space right here, right behind this, between the throttle body and that. So maybe that's where I put it. It could live here, potentially. Let's go get it and see what the size is. See what we can do. They included cable ties. That was nice. I went and got my pack of cable ties out of the garage thinking I was going to need them. I could find a spot somewhere. Hey, there's a diagnostic connector right there, it looks like. Cool. On the classic 350s, there's a bigger open spot right here underneath this panel, and people have been installing it right there, which is interesting. The Hunter doesn't have that space, but it has a ton of empty space back here behind this. I don't think I can really get in there too easily, but it's got a bunch of room right here. Sorry, you guys aren't on camera. It's got a bunch of room right here in this spot. So what I might do is figure out if I can shove it down in there. It could go on top of this maybe if I can get it further back, but that fuse block is going to be in the way. I'm going to fart around with this for a minute and save the battery on the camera, and I'll let you know what I decide. Okay, while I'm figuring out where to place the controller itself, hiding it in here somewhere, there's not a lot of room, so this is gonna be tricky, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the harness, get that out of the way. This is the O2 sensor line right here, so you just pop this connector off of there. That is the original factory side of it, and then you just put the intercept harness in the middle of it. So the FuelX harness plugs into here, and then the other end goes into there. It's male, female, you can't get it wrong. And now what I'm going to do is just tie these up, get them up out of the way, so they are seamless with the rest of the wiring, and when the tank is on there, you won't even see those connections. And then the rest of the harness, I'm going to route kind of around and through the woods to Grandma's house here. Not sure how I'm going to go back across the frame, if it's going to go underneath right here or if I'm going to pass through this middle section. I'll find a spot, but I haven't even determined exactly where the box is going to live yet because the space is so tight. I might be able to get it right here under the cover, but I haven't tested that theory yet, so I'll see if I can shoehorn it in under there, but we'll figure it out. And then the last wire, of course, is the ground or earth wire. So I'm going to tie that into one of the existing ground points. There's a bunch of them right here. There's others back here, all over the frame. So I'll find a good lug and just back the bolt out, put this on there, crank it down, and we'll be good to go. Okay, I got the harness wired up over here. I still haven't figured out where I'm going to put the FuelX because everything is so tight in here. I am having a hard time shoehorning anything in anywhere. I thought maybe putting it here on top of the tool bag. No, that's too tall. It doesn't let the seat settle in. I could do without the tool bag and put it right there. That would be fine, but you know, then what happens if you need your tools, right? So I'm going to pull the side cover off in a minute and see if I can find a place for it to live under there. But the harness is back here. I grounded it, tied up everything nice and neat so it's out of the way. And now it's just a matter of finding a place for this to live and plug it in. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put the tank on it, hook everything back up. I'm going to hook up the computer and make sure it runs before I really get much deeper in the project. It'd be great to get it all buttoned up and then turn it on and nothing happens. Whoopsie. What did I done did? I done forgot something, like I did last time, right? Let's see if I can get this back on there without mashing my fingers. And that is in there. Now I got to get those 2 vent hoses. This is the fun part, and I'm just going to turn the camera off because I'm going to start screaming and cursing. I just know it. Okay, I got that on there with moderate swearing. And note that your fuel is going to leak a little bit, especially if you got it really full like I do right now. When you're tilting the tank around, that overflow is going to dribble out the bottom a little bit, and also the fuel spigot, you know, coming off the fuel pump side is going to leak a little bit. So just be prepared for that. You're going to end up with some drips here and there. All right, let's see if I can get this thing wiggled back into position without scratching anything. Oh, it's tight. Back some more. Oh, irritation. Kids next door having fun, making all kinds of noise. Righty tighty. Okay, snug is all it needs. Okay, now I'll plug in the fuel connector right there. Click, and now the electrical connector. Ooh, it got wedged in under the tank. That was what was causing me problems. It was sitting kind of cattywampus right under the edge of the tank and the cylinder cover. So that's why I was having trouble maneuvering the tank around. Okay, let's get that up in there. Well, it's hard to keep you guys on camera and do this because I need 2 hands. So, sorry, you're not going to be on camera. Click, push, go. Click, there it is. All right, finally, I got it to go in the slots, and I'm just trying to get the little dust cover up and on there. Okay, FuelX. FuelX is grounded, and now it is plugged in. Which way is the key? Which way is the key? Interesting. Key is on the top. Okay. Oh, is it going to plug? Yep, there it goes. Click. It's engaged. Okay, so now when I turn on the ignition, we should see the little status lights come up here, and everything should work, we hope. Let's see what we get. Should hear the fuel pump gurgle, get some air out of the line. Yeah, that was air. Okay, and I saw a flash here, so let's see what we get. How many flashes is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 7. 7 flashes. I think that's the map that it runs. It's map 7 compared to the Pro one. Yeah, 7. Okay, so let's fire it up. Hey, it's running. Now, I don't know what kind of relearning is involved here. We might need to let it run for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just sitting here at idle, so it can remap itself. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. I turned it off a couple seconds too early. It just started flashing green. So now it's green, and it's got the occasional red flash. So I guess that means it has synchronized and learned, or I'm not sure. I'll look up what those LEDs mean. There's 3 of them in the center, and then you got a green on this side, and I think it's a green on that side. So anyway, I'm gonna let it sit here and idle and learn while I brainstorm on where I'm gonna shoehorn this thing in there somewhere and zip tie it up. Okay, final shots before I close this out tonight and start my live stream in a bit. I managed to shoehorn it in, and I mean shoehorn. There's just no space anywhere on this bike for anything extra. And what I ended up doing was getting it into this little cubby right here, tiny little cubby, under the under the tool pack, and kind of just underneath the subframe rails in front of the rear inner fender. So that's it. And I've got a flashlight now, so you can see how tight that is. It's not going anywhere. There's really not any room for zip ties or anything. I managed to get one zip tie on the back side of it, but it's not going anywhere. It's totally sandwiched in, and then all the cables are zip tied down low, holding it in place. It's not going anywhere. And that's a convenient spot right there because I can still see the status lights. So I could just kind of peer past the edge of my seat, or pop the seat off, and I can see exactly what the status lights are doing. So that's a good install. I'm pleased with that. Went in fine. None of the other wiring is visible anywhere. It's all clean and looks like it was made to be that way. Except for that. That's a huge new improvement. I like the Coffmans. Oh yeah. So she runs good and no problems. I was watching the little green lights flashing and doing their thing after it warmed up, and I'll get to where the manual tells me what those are, and I'll put it in the video description below, so check out the description for updated notes. But that's normal status there. It flashes the red light 7 times, and then after a minute this green light over here on the left goes solid green and then starts flashing occasionally. And I haven't seen this one light up yet. Yeah, there we go. There's full green. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and then solid. And now it just kind of blinks occasionally. And I would imagine under augmented fuel, one of these others is going to light up. So we'll find out. That's that. Time for me to get ready for the live stream. I got like not much time at all.